Hey there, it's the One Boom, and welcome to an episode of I Need a Weapon. In this series, what I do is I take your classes from the comment section below, and I use them and review them on a scale of 1 to 10. Enjoy the video. So today's class comes from a hero almost, and I should probably say this week's class, because I do this about once a week, once every couple weeks. So this week's class comes from a hero almost, and he wants us to use the Score Streak Specialist class. If you go ahead and play that back, there was a lot of shh and sounds. It's terrible. But he wants me to use the VMP submachine gun with extended mags and stock for secondary black cell for lethal, a thermite grenade, and for perks, tier 1 ghost, tier 2 fast hands, and anti-up, and tier 3 engineer. Getting that nasty little PNG off your screen, I want to talk about streak classes, because a lot of people make classes for going on long streaks. Now, I am not good at going on long streaks, but I have found something since I've started playing Call of Duty. The best streak classes are versatile, aggressive, stealthy, and resistant. Let me explain. When you have a class that you want to stay alive with, you want your primary weapon and your secondary weapon and your equipment to all complement each other for a wide variety of situations, gunfights, and just all-around combat scenarios. Then you want your perks to be stealthy, resistant, and aggressive. And this class pretty much does that. It has a stealthy perk such as Ghost, and has aggressive perks such as Fast Hands and Anti-Up, and you have a perk that doesn't really fall into any category. I think if you're going to categorize it, you could counter it as resistance, but it's not the right kind of resistance. Engineer. Engineer is not a good resistance perk. It's not a good perk for going on long streaks. In fact, in the gameplay here, you'll see me die several times to flashbangs. Also, my inability to maneuver without appearing on the minimap with the lack of blast suppressor also is a huge detriment. How am I supposed to stay alive if I can't resist grenades or the minimap? If I'm going to go on a streak and I'm going to try to get wraiths and motherships and anything else, and by the way, in the class, he says to use Seraph's combat focus, and I was, but I still felt so naked. I felt like I had all the keys to get a streak. A decent weapon, decent lethal grenade, decent perk setup, but I still felt vulnerable because there's not enough resistance there. Now, if this would have been an OBJ class and it just had flak jacket and tac mask and fast hands and multiple lethals and tacticals, I could have gotten behind that. But it seems to be spread in a couple different directions. It seems to be spread in a stealthy, go around the sides of the map and win as many gunfights as you can style, and it also seems to have a take down all the enemy score streak style. Well, that would make it a streak anti-streak class, and those are great. The class is made for you to get streaks and for the enemy team to lose their streaks, but this doesn't even have blind eye. This doesn't have blind eye, hardwired, cold-blooded, doesn't have any perks that will allow me to take out streaks better. Oh, except for engineer, which is kind of useless in my opinion, because I don't have an EMP grenade, and EMP grenades and engineer go together perfectly because you can see where all the enemy equipment is. But for taking out wraiths or UAVs, I don't need engineer. I don't think that's very relevant. As I was playing with the class, I did try and use it to my benefit as much as I could, but I felt like taking down a streak was kind of wasting time. I don't know. It's good to have a streak anti-streak class, but this one seemed to be more set up for higher streaks, but also too vulnerable for that exact task. So, if the task at hand is to get streaks and take down the enemy streaks, I would have put on Blind Eye, Hardwired, Cold-Blooded, and Engineer, and had a really good primary weapon, and of course accompanied by the Black Cell. If the class was just to get high streaks, and keeping enemy streaks out of the air was not a priority, I would have put on Tac Mask and Blast Suppressor way before putting on Anti-Up, because if you have combat focus and Anti-Up, you're just kind of being a little redundant. So I'm a little bit incoherent, I'm a little bit rambly. Let me just kind of summarize this for you guys. If you're going to go on streaks, you need to be versatile, stealthy, resistant, and aggressive. Speed and versatility are probably the most underrated things when going for streaks. People go for stealth or resistance and they try to play really campy. That's not good. You need to be versatile and you need to be fast as hell. This class doesn't do enough of the resistance side, and that's why it gets a 5 out of 10. Why so low, you ask? Well, I just didn't feel like there was any benefit to the class. I didn't feel like it was doing anything any other class couldn't do. Anybody can put stock, extended mags, black cell, and ghost on a class. That doesn't make it good. The perks and attachments and the way everything's set up doesn't really fit coherently. The VMP is properly set up enough. It's not bad at all. The stock and extended mags, great. That works fine. Ghost and fast hands, great. Fine. Thermite and black cell, great. Fine. It's just you miss something when you put anti-up and engineer and completely dodge the resistance side of it and then add combat focus. You're just being redundant and not very effective. But now I'm going to give you guys a challenge, and also going to kind of give myself a bit of a challenge here. I am going to ask you guys for your streak classes. I want your classes to fit my criteria of versatile, stealthy, resistant, and aggressive. Make sure your class meets all of these requirements and can go on long streaks. Now, you are not allowed to request anti-ep or combat focus. You're actually going to have to make a class that's strong enough for me to go on a streak without any sort of cushion for the task. Alright, so I want you to start typing down your classes in the comment section below, and I will tackle those next week. And well, I'll tackle the classes over the weekend, and I will tackle the video making next week. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And a hero almost, don't be sad about the rating. Doesn't mean you're a bad person or your class was necessarily terrible. It just didn't have any advantages over other classes I've been recommended or any of my other classes. I didn't use it and go, oh, that's an interesting concept, because there was really nothing to it. And that's not a bad thing. Just get back at it and just know that you're worthless to me. Alright guys, I'll see you when I see you, and goodbye. Alright, so if you stayed till the end, that means you're probably a fan of my channel. You know I talk at the end, so that's good. I have a little bit of a channel update. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading daily like I wanted to. It's just a lot of stuff going on. My internet's being crazy stupid, and no, it's not because I need a NetDuma. And I am just sorry about that. So I'd also like to say I'm sorry that my last live commentary called, what was it, Up on That Ground or whatever. I'm sorry that the audio was so low. I had a lot of fun recording. I think it's worth going and taking a look at, but the audio is pretty quiet, so you're gonna have to turn it up a little bit. And I'm very sorry about that. My OBS settings got all screwed up when I was recording a different game, so I had to adjust that. So I will see you when I see you guys, and I love you. And if you stay till the end, I'm really happy, because that makes my day. And Mindset and Tiny Tactics are going to come back in full force. Also, I'm going to do a little series where I analyze different parts of Black Ops 3 and talk about it, not statistically, but more personally. And I hope you guys enjoy that when I start doing that. Anyway, I'm going to start pumping out more content for you guys, just to make more money. Yeah, really, that's actually probably one of the reasons. But also, I enjoy doing this, and I know you guys like my videos. Some of you do, at least. Anyway, I'll stop rambling now, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye!